Hi there. So I have with me Oyinkansola an alumni from Squad 5. In fact, can you please briefly talk us through your background, generally, and what you're currently doing?
Well, okay, so like she said, I'm Oyinkansola. I'm a JavaScript engineer. I write React on the front end and Node on the back end. She already mentioned that I went through the Decagon program, so yeah, proudly a Decagon product. I'm currently doing software development, so that's what I'm doing.
So Oyinkon, you're a JavaScript dev currently, right?
Yeah.
Can you please walk us through your background before you got into Decagon?
Oh, okay. So I studied at the Federal University of Technology, Akure. There I studied meteorology, and as you know, yes, it's a STEM course, but I didn't necessarily have to do anything that had to do with coding or, software development or anything like that. So that's basically it.
Interesting that you mentioned meteorology. Meteorology.
Yeah, meteorology, yeah.
I thought almost So what is meteorology? I mean, I know for some people.
Oh, okay. So it's just basically atmospheric sciences, right? So we study weather and climate. So I'm sure you've heard of NIMET, Nigerian Meteorological Agency. Yeah, those guys. That's what I studied in school. And funny thing is, as of when I was in FUTA was like the only institution in Nigeria that was doing meteorology. In fact, we had people from West Africa, like West African countries used to send each delegates from their countries to study meteorology in Nigeria. So
Interesting.
yeah, and there are very few of us, yeah.
Sounds cool. So what were some of the thoughts running through your mind when you were considering the Decagon programs?
Okay, so I was, so after school, right, or after service, better put, I realized that during NYC, I realized that to, get like the dream job that I wanted, I had to probably know, some people in maybe House of Reps and all of that, because as you know, there are literally no private organizations, privately owned meteorological organizations, which means that it had to be something federal government, right? And I didn't think I really had those kind of connects. So the next thing for me was, okay, what skills did I acquire in school that I could, use to sell myself? And I thought, okay, data analysis. So I started looking in the line of, okay, data science, data analysis. Well, as of then, I really didn't have the funds. And then, I heard about Decagon and the program and what it had to offer. The fact that, they had like the self-sponsorship route, or you could actually apply for a loan. They help you to apply for a loan, and then you can go through the program, and when you get a job, you could, pay back. And that looked like something that, worked for me. So yeah, that's how I, came to Decagon.
What the deciding factor for you when choosing Decagon?
Okay, like I, mentioned earlier, there are a number of things, right? So the first thing was the fact that it was, they had the plan of learn first and then pay later, right? So it meant that I didn't necessarily have to, ask for support from my folks back at home. So it was something that I could, a journey that I could embark on by myself. So that was one of the selling points. And then the fact, another thing is they offered stipend. So I didn't, again, need to ask them for support from home. So it meant that, I could be in the training process and still have stipend for personal upkeeps and all of those. And most importantly, I was going to become, an elite software engineer. So it was like an all-in-one package. So why not Decagon, right? Because I don't know of any other organization that offers all of these. It will either be one or the other. So that was why I chose Decagon.
So you mentioned something very profound. You mentioned that when you were leaving school, you decided on building upon skill sets that you already possessed. One of which was data analytics, I guess because of your analytical background in meteorology. But at Decagon, we're focused solely on software engineering. So why did you pick software engineering at Decagon over data analytics somewhere else?
Okay, so the goal was to transition into tech, really, but I felt like because I already had data analytical skills, right? I felt that was like an easier route. But in Decagon, we don't have, data analytics.
Yes.
And they do software development instead. So I felt, okay, why not? If I'm able to, write the assessments, scale through the process, then it means that I probably have what it takes to, succeed in that field. So I gave it a try.
Excellent. And look where it landed you.
Right?
Okay. So, I'm curious about your Decagon experience. Can you tell me about your Decagon experience from the expectations coming into the program, during the program, and after the program?
Oh, okay. So my Decagon experience is quite interesting because when I, applied to Decagon, I was completely new. But then Decagon had a bootcamp program. So when I applied, I got the first assessment. I took it from home, and then they told me that I was going to, proceed to the next stage, and I was excited. And then the next stage was an in-person assessment. So I had to go to the Decagon office, and then I had the interview session, and that also went well. And then the next stage for me then was the bootcamp. And the bootcamp was like the highlight of it, of the recruitment process for me, because it was a 2 weeks intensive program where they took me from 0 to say 10%, right? Because I literally didn't know anything. And then I learned HTML tags, learned basic JavaScript, how to write for loops. All of this in less than a week. And then by the second week, we built a small project, and then I presented it, and I was like, if I could achieve this in 2 weeks, how much more 6 months, right? So why not, So when I resumed the program, right, at the Union facility, Big Zero we're expecting that to, be very easy, but it wasn't anything like that. I will tell you that Decagon program is intensive from day one till the very last day. You don't see it coming. When you think that it's getting easier, is actually when it gets tougher. But the interesting thing is that by the time you're done, the level of knowledge that you'd have acquired, you'll be amazed yourself, because when you talk to people that have 5 years of experience, 6 years of experience, you'll be amazed at how much you know and how informed you are, to say that, oh, you literally just finished a 6 months program. So the experience was amazing.
We just see that Decagon gave you all the tools and everything you needed to succeed as a software engineer.
Yeah, as far as I know, right? The interesting thing about Decagon is that they don't only just focus on your technical skills, right? They also ensure that you own your soft skills and leadership skills. And they go as far as even teaching, the agile methodology and all of that. By the time you're finishing at Decagon, you're Scrum Fundamental certified.
You see that Decagon changed your life.
I feel like that's an obvious, the answer to that question is obvious, right? Don't you think? So going from metrology to software engineering is already an impeccable change, right? Don't you think? Besides that, yeah, in so many ways, I met new people. The Decagon community is something that is not really spoken about, but it's something that is one of the biggest takeouts for me from the program, right? Also, the instructors, the skills, like I said, the soft skills, the leadership skills, our fireside chats, all of those. It's a total package, it's a complete package. So, yeah.
Okay, let's do a tongue twister before you leave. So, you say red lorry, yellow lorry 5 times. Go.
You go first.
Okay. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry.
Okay, so I'll try. Red lorry, yellow. Never mind.
Try.
Red. I don't really know that.
Yellow lorry.
Okay, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry. You know what I mean.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me to this.
All right.
Bye. Bye.